Hello, and thank you for watching this regional forecast update for the Corn Belt. I'm Andrew Pritchard, Senior Meteorologist with Nutrien Ag Solutions. Well, the satellite picture here on Friday morning shows an area of showers and thunderstorms making their way through the Mid-South, Kentucky, Tennessee, seeing some of that rain this morning. That extends down to the Gulf Coast. A lot in the way of high pressure, though, moving in. It's going to set us up for a really sunny and mild weekend across much of the Corn Belt, and that mild and dry weather should linger well into the coming week. We'll look at the radar picture. Here are those showers ongoing again across parts of Kentucky and Tennessee down toward the Gulf Coast. And as we flip it over and look at temperatures this morning, we do have a little bit in the way of warmer air out ahead of that frontal boundary. Temperatures in the mid-40s this morning across Kentucky and Tennessee, 20s and 30s as you head back toward the north and to the west. The hazards map from the National Weather Service is quiet this morning across the Corn Belt. We've got dense fog advisories in the Pacific Northwest, wintry weather in the Northeast. And we can look at the surface map here on Friday morning, and again, we've got disturbances across the eastern third of the nation, but on the backside, high pressure moving in, really setting things up to be pretty quiet as we head through the next 7 days. So here's the high-resolution NAM model. I'll show you the showers and storms making their way off to the east across the Mid-South. That should come to an end by the end of the day today. That rain and thunder will then move on off across the rest of the Mid-Atlantic, even departing the East Coast by the time we get to the overnight hours tonight. And that again sets us up for a dry, quiet weekend with plenty of blue skies and sunshine for just about everybody. So here we go, Friday 9 p.m., taking it into midnight, and then by sunrise on Saturday morning, the storm system has moved off over the Atlantic. Taken into Saturday during the day, Saturday night, and then all the way into Sunday morning, remaining quiet across the Corn Belt. So here's your next 7 days. So this includes the weekend and all of the next work week. So into Friday, December 11th, and again, dry across the entire Corn Belt. What you see here, this is the departing storm system we've got here over the next 12 to 18 hours. Here's the jet stream pattern that we've got. Again, a mess of disturbances here across the eastern third of the country with high pressure on the backside and some ridging. Now, we do have the opportunity here where some of these models are suggesting, again, here we've got a system, a couple that dive out of the Canadian prairie here, taking this trajectory as we get into Sunday and Monday. You can see them right there, kind of diving out of Ontario down into Wisconsin and Illinois. There's a non-zero chance that each of these disturbances has just enough oomph. There's another one coming down on the tail end there, to kick off maybe a couple of flurries. This certainly, I'm not expecting anything even, coming close to snow showers or anything accumulating because, again, on the backside of a trough, on the leading edge of an area of high pressure, again, we've got a lot in the way of dry air, a lot in the way of sinking air here between these systems. So this is not a setup that's going to be producing precipitation across the region, anything more than maybe squeezing a few snowflakes out of the cold air as we head into the early part of the week. Otherwise, ridging slides in. That's going to keep us quiet. It's going to help us warm up across especially the northern plains into parts of the central plains and the upper Midwest as we head through the next week. There really is just nothing to kick off precipitation. This is just not going to get it done. So this quiet and relatively sunny pattern is going to continue into the first week of December. Here's the background state here over the next 5 days. Again, a big ridge across the Pacific Northwest, the northern plains into the Canadian prairie, troughing across the east coast. In between those, this is just typically a very dry place to be, and that is going to be the case here between that ridge to the west and the trough off to the east. So we'll take the European model a little bit deeper here. We'll look at the operational run, the precipitation forecast. I've already told you it's going to be dry, so you should know to expect very little excitement here. Again, the rain and thunderstorms across Kentucky and Tennessee, those are gone by the time we get to the overnight and tomorrow morning. Now, if you watch here, you'll see a couple of chances here, a couple of little flirts with some flurries here as those systems drop out. Look, it barely even registered there. I'll just take the oval off of there because I really don't think anything's going to come of it. Again, just maybe don't be surprised in Wisconsin or Illinois if you see a couple of snowflakes somewhere between Sunday and Monday. Otherwise, ridging, high pressure, it keeps us quiet here. We've got nothing really to talk about until somewhere around next weekend, December 12th, 13th, and 14th. We've seen suggestions that the pattern's going to become more active across the midsection of the country, but very different ideas on what that's going to look like. So it won't do any good to talk about any details in the 10-day time frame, but just know that that's kind of when we're looking at things may be becoming active once again across the Corn Belt to be, again, certainly around the middle of December. December 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th is when that indication has generally been. So through December 11th, though, keeping it dry from the west all the way into the eastern Corn Belt here. So again, Kentucky and Tennessee, you get some rain over the next 12 hours, and then we just shut things down again across the rest of the region. Now, I noticed, or kind of, showed the jet stream pattern here. We got the ridge in the west, troughing in the east, and then a couple of those systems kind of falling down out of Ontario. So with the trajectory like that, you might be thinking we're going to get more in the way of cold air. But the reason I showed you this North American view of our current temperature anomalies is to show you there is not a lot in the way of cold air. There is a huge absence of cold air across northern Canada. So even if we're sending a couple of these little clipper-like systems out of Ontario down into the Midwest, where's the cold air going to come from? That's why really we just end up with kind of this suggestion that colder air was going to arrive into mid-December, but it just doesn't, there's nowhere for it to come right now with this current pattern. So as we look out into the next week or so, we're really going to hold on to that warmer bias, especially across the northern plains. As you make your way down across the southern U.S., temperatures a little less anomalously warm, but they're really going to be pretty uniform from north to south. So you end up with something where we got highs in the 40s and 50s across the Dakotas and highs in the 40s and 50s across the deep south. So anomalously warm off to the north, a little bit anomalously cool in the south, but really pretty uniform temperatures across the midsection of the U.S. So here are your highs today. We'll look at tomorrow. Really going to be a lot of the same here as we head into next week, Monday and Tuesday. The temperature pattern just not going to be budging much as we head through the next 5 to 7 days. I hope you have a great weekend. We will talk to you all once again on Monday morning.